say Stripe is very strong, and that's okay. Fair enough. But it's just nice to see a difference. A difference of characters showing up here.
I mean, we are
He's looking at chat right now.
we're definitely seeing a different cast of characters going into into top 8, into top 6. And definitely in losers finals here, Morty versus Stripe going on to Sky Arena. No platforms. I have to imagine that this is slightly better for Morty. But that being said, what do I know? Clearly, Gorifye knows more about this game than I do. Clearly, Mrdarknight finds ways in that I would have never imagined. As we see Mrdarknight immediately pull out the stack of dynamite. Oh, trying to connect with it on the back side. Unable to do so. Trying to use that chainsaw, actually, more than we saw in the last couple of matches to sneak in on top of Morty's head. Ooh, able to whiff punish. Gets a good 80 points of damage, almost. Just off of that one whiff punish and being able to read Morty's movements. That being said, Gorifye getting great dodge away from that self-ignition. But up attack kills so strong.
Indeed. Yeah. Gorifye was doing a great job of avoiding Mrdarknight's tactics to get inside, but it can become overwhelming, at certain times, and I believe it did in this case. Still missing that up air off of the dirt. That was a free fall up that he wasn't able to get, but the dare does come in off of that Indiana Jones whip. So both players at 1-1. Still, Gorifye sitting at 95, so pretty disadvantaged here. You're going to want to play the smartest, greatest MultiVersus you could play for the next 30 seconds to a minute here, but you're catching a dare here. Oh my goodness. Kind of saved in a sense from Mrdarknight, but that up air still manages to get Gorifye off stage. So 2-1 in favor of Mrdarknight. His aggression is definitely allowing just the opportunity to kind of do what you want, get inside, have some fun, do your thing, and in a situation where you might be getting juggled around, as long as you have that target on your opponent, the pistol can save you. So it's kind of a comfortable living for the time being, unless Gorifye is able to really pull a rabbit out of the hat here.
Yeah, I mean, we see Gorifye, doing a really good job of now boxing Stripe out of all the options that Stripe wants to do. That being said, it might be a little too late at this point, but Stripe's at 120. That's not a comfortable place to be, but Norris being 3 stocks down in the game as Mrdarknight finally closes out game 1. Mrdarknight's doing a really good job at dancing in and out of Morty's aggression. I mean, this is a completely different Mrdarknight, right? We saw Mrdarknight versus Eris, and that was just in your face, 24/7, 7 days a week, including holidays. This is a more calm, collected, part of the union Stripe.
More calm, collected part of the union.
Yeah, he's making sure he's counting his hours. He's clocking out when he needs to.
He's got fees and everything too.
Yeah, he's not working any more than he needs to. And we can see that as he just dances in and out of these hitboxes. That being said, when he oversteps just a tiny bit, Corporate Morty just kind of gets a couple of swings in there,
Listen, you better be careful before Corporate Morty calls HR. It won't be pretty sad if that happens.
As we see even a couple of exchanges from the two, but first blood goes to Mrdarknight. 73 points of damage though. That is actually pretty close to kill range for the Morty. If he lands the dirt, that's definitely going to lead into an up air kill. Grenade also being very dangerous at this percent, as we see Gorifye kind of juggling it. Not able to get a good angle on it though, sending the gremlin straight into the ground. Ooh, oh, I thought he was gonna try to call out the movement with the up air, unable to do so as Dark Knight doing a really good job of stacking up this damage on Morty. 87 points of damage is not where you want to be, especially when you're down a full stock.
Indeed, this is definitely a rough setup at this moment. I mean, well, Dark Knight is at 166. Finally gets yeeted off the map. But I mean, at what cost, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Gorifye sitting at 141%. We're not able to finish the kill.
I've never seen that not kill.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, I definitely thought that was going to be stock number 2, but no, in this case, we're still fighting. We're still doing what we got to do. And both players just trying to side each other up. Dark Knight wants to get aggressive here. Yep, there it is.
It's a huge whiff from Morty, as you know, Dark Knight, not the kind of player that you want to whiff like that against. He's going to take advantage every single time. That being said, I really like Dark Knight's use of the saw blade. Just really controlling a big part of the stage that Morty wants to exist in. Oh, unable to connect. Morty, Gorifye doing a great job of punishing all the approach options that Dark Knight tries to find as he closes out his own stock there, bringing the game to about as even as you can get in this game.
Gorifye decided to take the fastest nap ever right after getting that stock there. We love a little bit of BMing here at Crack Media. You know, we're gamers, man. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's all about competition at the end of the day. So
Morty does get stamina for resting like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does recover a little bit of stamina when he's taking his little nap. So, you know,
I was just okay, all right. Man,
not
I always saw
just
something different. I'm a little toxic on the inside, so you have to excuse me. It's not like watching Samurai Jack here, because we all like Samurai Jack gets like that over health, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, as we're having a little conversation, Gorifye is able to get game number 2. So listen, Dark Knight was saying, what was that he said? Stripe is number 1. Stripe's number 1. I mean, oh man, I don't know. This is looking like a pretty a pretty even match at the moment now. Both players using their aggression as much as they can. Obviously, Dark Knight's playing a little bit more aggressive because that's just how Stripe's gameplay is. But Gorifye said, "Hey, it's okay. I'm still here. This isn't going to be as easy as you think it's going to be." Not mad.
I personally cannot believe that you throw an up air there. I can't believe Gorifye was so ready to just catch the gremlin out of the air. But I mean, it pays off. Going into game 3, it's even games, 1-1. Clearly Gorifye, knowing something about the game that I don't, and able to call out Stripe's movement, which is one of the hardest things to do in this game. It really feels like week to week, as they keep boxing back and forth. Morty really making Stripe regret jumping. He gets the first stock. Immediately.
That was different.
That
was different. Yeah. Both players were. I mean, they were able to kind of even it up here, but I did not expect Gorifye to start it off the way that he did there. Very impressive to show. Again, I'm not scared of you. Let's throw hands. It doesn't matter. Both players trying to figure out a little bit of spacing here. Dirt misses, catches the bomb to the face. Trying to not out with each other here if you can. Make some sort of connection happen. The saw blade misses into Sayer. Watch the grenade. That can hurt if it touches you. Nice little combo here from Dark Knight. Can't really follow up though. Able to get the up attack. 91? Yeah. And because Morty is such a light character, you're going at that point. There's not really much you can do there, friend.
Yeah, I mean, Morty wasn't aware that Gorifye didn't realize that he was in burnout. and when you're in burnout, Stripe's gonna run all over you. Can't really dodge out of his moves, and who's going to let that slide? I know that Darknight will not. As Darknight finds his rhythm in this the last stock here, or Morty, just not letting him breathe. Not letting him breathe.
That game went by quick. That game went by quick.
Darknight was a shadow that whole game. Morty went left, he went left. Morty went right, he went right.
Yeah.
Like, man, attached to his ankles.
Yeah, that was indeed that game went by much faster than we had expected. It's kind of reminiscent of the Gorifye series here. Yeah, I mean at this point we're looking at Darknight with series lead. This is essentially, this could be it. If Darknight is able to get this win, moving on to the grand finals, and going to be able to get that good old rematch versus Ares' Rowdy Rough Boys.
Yeah, I mean, well, he definitely wants to run back here, as we see him trying to open up the Morty. It looks like Gorifye's playing a little bit more patiently here, but the movement from the movement from Darknight not quite landing anything. I mean, we see Morty just Gorifye just turns it on randomly. It really feels like, as over and over again, just this sudden burst of aggression, catching people off guard and leading to like huge damage numbers. But it's kind of hard to come back from the gremlin just shooting at you, especially when you're kissing the blast zone there.
Yeah, that pistol is such a great way. You know, I've played matches against my friends where I've used Stripe, and you know, being able to get it confirmed using the pistol can really tilt a player if you're not aware of how effective it is. So it has been quite hilarious to see some of my friends just kind of give up mid game because of certain attacks. You just have to know how effective it is. Hey, but nonetheless, Gorifye says that's okay. You get your stock, I'm gonna get mine too. 32-0. This is still a pretty even match. It's not over by any means. Darknight is using that song to try to get in, but kind of bait it out. Kind of bait out the aggression to see how you're going to react after it. Love the fact that there are platforms on this map that he can use that saw blade to kind of just interrupt you and really give you some sort of distraction to think about as you're trying to make your next move. Good use of the bomb there. Can't quite do much with it afterwards. That's okay. Grenade connecting, trying to connect dirt, but the saw comes in. Darknight doesn't follow up though.
I really like what Gorifye is doing and changing at the heights that he's attacking at over and over again. That's how he finds his next kill there too. Just catching Spike with the dirt, really paying off dividends. Gorifye's not ready to go home. I guess he might probably home. Not ready to be out of the tournament. Oh, trying to find a little bit of aggression as he's stacking up the damage on Stripe. Stripe trying to find the hit, trying to find his momentum into the next stock, but Gorifye not letting up on the gas. Ooh, the chainsaw hits though. 153 from the Morty.
Yeah, Darknight is kind of using the same move set to get inside, and Gorifye was reading it, but it didn't matter in that situation. I mean, once you get off stage is a different question from when you're on stage, right? When all your resources are handy, you're not really panicking about which move should I use to get back. You're kind of just focusing on getting the setup. Off stage though, different situation, different scenario. You can always mix it up. So both players now doing a little Macarena, trying to figure out who's going to come inside first and play into the air. Oh, Gorifye is not done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a game 5 and losers 5. This is okay. I mean, initially, I definitely thought the aggression from Darknight might be a little too oppressive. Initially, it seemed like it was, but now, what are we talking about? Now, what are we talking about?
I mean, I think it's just a couple of reads here and there that really were the difference. That being said, Darknight. I mean, I guess we're in the last game. Both players need to close out this game. Both players need to lock in and load out. But we are going into game 5, Gorifye versus Darknight. Morty Smith versus Stripe the Gremlin. Oh, how are we?
Is this last name really Smith?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Genuinely. No idea.
As we see a couple of stray hits landing on the Morty. Morty returning the favor, though, right then and there. Able to pull out the dynamite, unable to connect with it, though. It really feels like Darknight's not finding his rhythm quite yet. As I say that, though, immediately does so. Trying to bait out the dodges. Gets a couple of good shots off, but unable to close out the stock quite yet. The dodge through into the pistol shot.
Ugh.
That was tech. That was
nasty. Ugh. Darknight uses some aggression there to just say, no, you stay there. I like that. I like it. Now, still, Gorifye is not afraid. Gorifye still in here trying to do his best, throw some hands, using dirt, but was able to follow up with the up air. And now Darknight is on the aggressive side. Doesn't care. Darknight is here to win it. He wants to go back to the winners bracket. That's what he wants to do. That's what we're seeing right now. 97% was able to read that dirt, stop right on time. Darknight doing what he can to stay on, avoid the grenade if he can, misses the dirt, catches the saw. Just one well placed combo up in the air, follow it up with the pistol. This could be it. You gotta think Gorifye is Gorifye nervous? Is Gorifye still focused? Can't lose full quite yet, right?
No, can't. I mean, Gorifye definitely needs to win this.